Thank you. And I'm hoping that you guys will stick around for as long as Heather will speak to us about this very interesting product she's got back here. So I want to welcome Heather up here. Let's give her a big hand. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
So I can put you, if you want to talk a little bit before we do, or we can just roll.
Briefly, and then just very briefly, and then we'll roll into some videos.
Okay, you got
So,
it.
hi everyone, I am Heather Bond, and although I'm not in the real estate business, I'm in investing in your health, investing in sustainability, and I have a product here that is a wonderful product. It's called the Tower Garden. It's by Juice Plus, and it is a great. I'm just going to do this very briefly, and I'm going to go into 3 segments of videos. But this is something that, you know, I live up in the mountain by Dan. I live on 5 acres. I had a conversation with a woman earlier. I don't want to battle those gophers under the ground. I want to use 10% of the water. It costs anywhere from 80 cents to $1 a month for the electric bill for one of these tower gardens. So the efficiency, the same sustainability. Nowadays our soils are getting so depleted of minerals, people think it takes dirt to grow. It doesn't, it takes minerals. So that's what this tower garden is all about. It's about sustainability, efficiency, saving funds and money. And also there's you know, a passive stream of income. I'm a fitness trainer, I'm a nutrition coach. But I'm working with this multi-billion-dollar company that's in 20 countries because of what they really stand for. It's what I teach people, and so I'm here to just share it with you all. So I'm going to show 3 videos. It's probably about 7 minutes total, and hope you enjoy it.
Okay, thank you.
So where did the menu go?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, bear with me, it will be 9 minutes now.
Did it show when we first put it in?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that.
Sorry? 9 minutes now.
That'll work. Take that out. Bring that down. Start it over. That's good. Don't you just love? There we go.
Well, I grew up in western North Dakota, and if you've ever been to western North Dakota, you'll know that it's a place often referred to as God's country, because it's a place where the bison still roam free, and agriculture dominates the landscape. And I guess that's what where the seed of agriculture started in me. Growing up in a family with 5 siblings, we didn't get to take a vacation every summer, but by the time I was in high school, my family had the opportunity to take a vacation to Walt Disney World, and if you can imagine what an experience that was. And out of all the
This is
4
Tim
theme
Blake.
parks
I'm
at the
sorry,
Walt
I
Disney
meant to
World
say
Resort
this
in Florida,
before.
the one
He
that
is
really
the
stood out for me
inventor,
was
the founder
Epcot,
of
because
Epcot.
Epcot was the place of the future. It was very inspirational to see all the different nationalities working together and all the different technologies, and the place that stood out the most to me was a special ride at Epcot called The Land. It was an hour-long backstage, behind-the-scenes tour where they grew food crops from all over the world hydroponically. The thing I loved most about that backstage tour at The Land was it inspired me. I knew in that moment what I was going to go to school for and what I was going to do with the rest of my life. So I went and got a degree in horticulture, and eventually I came back to work as an advanced intern at Walt Disney World. I was very blessed to get an internship at The Land at Epcot. Thousands of people applied for that position, and they only selected 10. And used that opportunity to grow and develop my skills in hydroponic food production. And long after my day was ended, I volunteered at the various horticultural disciplines like plant pathology, entomology, biotechnology to learn everything I could about hydroponic food production and this technology, because even though I didn't have a master's degree in these various research disciplines, these doctors saw the potential in me and hired me on after my internship to conduct high-end scientific research with both NASA and the Department of Energy right there at the land at Epcot. Well, during that first 7 years at the land, I had an opportunity to learn just about everything that related to hydroponic and aeroponic food production. I got to learn about beneficial insects, microorganisms, plant pathology, biotechnology, and allowed me to move into greenhouse operations manager of the entire land greenhouse facility in 2000, and I kept that position until 2005. In retrospect, I think it was those 12 years with the Walt Disney World Company that gave me the wisdom and the experience to go out and do something on my own. In 2005, I felt like that was a great opportunity to launch Future Growing, which was a company that would take very similar technologies and make them available for everybody, whether they be a commercial grower or for an individual homeowner who wanted to grow food right in their own backyard. So over the earlier years of the company, we developed the world's first patented vertical aeroponic technology called the Tower Garden. The Tower Garden can grow everything from a head of lettuce to an edible herb to a beautiful beefsteak tomato. And the idea was that every single crop that a homeowner would want to grow could be done right in the comfort of their own backyard. On the commercial side of our vertical aeroponic food production business, we've set up many urban and rooftop farms around the country, and even in many cases had some of the world's first of its kinds. For example, going back to 2009, we had the world's first certified green building with aquaponic and aeroponic food production on the roof. In 2010, we opened Manhattan's first aeroponic roof-to-table food farm that supported the restaurant down below. In 2011, at the Chicago O'Hare Airport, we opened the world's very first aeroponic food farm in an airport terminal, and all that food is used to feed many of the 67 restaurants at the O'Hare Airport. This dream I had that was rooted all the way back to my childhood about doing something for humanity, finding a better way of growing food, is finally coming to fruition. Seeing these projects come alive excites me more than it ever did. I have a hard time sleeping at night. I can't wait to get that next aeroponic Tower Garden project out there. So living life to the plus is living your passion. I wake up every single day doing what I love to do, and that is helping people grow fresh, healthy food right in their own backyard.
So here in Santa Barbara, we actually have two now. One's been here for, Joy's been here. We have two urban farms, aeroponic farms. One is here on Lower Chapala across from West Beach. They have 44 of these Tower Gardens on their rooftop. And we have another one going in Carp. So this is just for the residential, just so you can kind of see it's very quick. Just have one more quick little snippet, and it's just going to really show you the productivity of the Tower Garden. It's coming up. So I also want to kind of leave it, because I'll kind of leave it after this. I know we're running behind. it's a great investment, whether you're going to gift it to a client or it's another stream of income. So if you have any questions, feel free to talk to myself, Heather, or my colleague Maya, or Sean back here, and we have information if you need it. And this will take 34 seconds. You watch this grow. Think of no dirt. So that kind of sums it up.
Well, thank you very much. Heather and her husband Sean here, they're my next door neighbor. And we're up there, all of us are on probably 7 acres each or something like that. And when she mentioned gophers, it was probably gophers, whatever. If you knew the battle that we deal with gophers up there and other things, I wanted to plant on the 7 acres for ages, and I keep looking out there going, I just can't put it in the ground. I'd have to put, like cement underneath, and then barbed wire, and laser beams. This is a perfect solution. I mean, you look at how high that is up from the ground. There's no rodent that's going to jump in that plant, and there's no dirt. That's amazing. No dirt.
Yeah, I just want to add, on the other end, I live right downtown, and I have a beautiful long courtyard, but there's no dirt. And now I can grow my own food, and I grow enough that I give it away. It's fabulous.
It's huge, and if you look at now, I looked at the website, and they mentioned depending on where you live and what the price is for food that you spend, you could probably pay for the system in, I think, was it a year or something like that?
I'd say 6 months.
6 months, okay. So now we're in Santa Barbara, the price of food here is a lot more expensive. It could be 3 months in Santa Barbara. If you're shopping at the expensive, nice, organic whole food
If it is organic.
If it is organic.
And if it is organic.
And this is organic because you're growing it. It's yours.
And so we call that from tower to table.
Yeah.
So Heather, I guess we talked about this. I was talking to some of your point, but do you get to choose what you want to grow? Do you have recommendations? Is it like the standard package that comes with it?
No. A package does come with it, but you can grow anything but root vegetables. You can't put trees in there, obviously. And certain times of the year, like wintertime, we have our kales, our lettuces, our spinaches, our more green leafy. So that's the seasonal.
And you guys provide all of that?
Berries.
Well, yeah, here in town, you'll get lots of consulting from people who've been growing, who will help you. We're experimenting now with broccoli and Brussels sprouts. I didn't think that was possible when I first started, but yeah, anything that's not, like Heather said, a root vegetable.
So no carrots?
No carrots, no potatoes, nothing like that. It has to go in the earth.
But you can grow celery, you can grow broccoli, you can grow squash, you can grow berries, you can
And then
grow
all the
pumpkins,
herbs,
everything.
basil,
Anything above ground.
cilantro.
Anything that'll grow above ground.
Yeah,
Can be
big
grown.
You got a watermelon, something big?
Yeah.
Or cantaloupe?
Yes,
Absolutely.
melons are great, squash is great.
Amazing.
And, the way we do it is the big things go at the bottom and they can kind of rest on the top of the tank, and we have the tomato cage which supports tomatoes and squashes and cucumbers, things like that. And then you put your herbs and lettuces more up on the top.
Do you ever have to put any kind of wire over to keep the birds and things out? How is that?
They have trouble figuring out how to fly in and
Not
they
sure. They don't
birds
like
have
it.
not been problem. I have strawberries and they don't even eat them when they're
You're
ripe.
kidding. You know what eats the strawberries where we live are all the mice. They're just on the ground and they're gone. They say they're looking out the window going, what do we grow this for,
I will say last year I battled and I had to put a nice 3-tier garden in, and I battled from underground, above
Right.
ground, and I said to Sean, I want 1 tomato. That's all I want. And I'm bringing dirt in. All the cost and keeping up with it and the maintenance, it's not going to happen that way.
One of the wonderful things is it's very resistant to pests of, other kinds, insects and mold and things, because the vegetables and the fruits are so well nourished by this organic minerals solution that we put in the water, they actually look vibrant, and people that know plants, they actually give off a vibration when they're not super healthy or super nourished that attracts insects and
And if you do get a pest, so if, there's always certain little bugs, but you can use soapy water or a little vinegar and water solution.
It's very,
Two things, Dan, if you want to know how to get rid of gophers, I'll let you know how to get rid of them. I've got 4 acres in Lompoc.
Okay.
I've got 2 loop houses. I've been trying to find somebody to do organic stuff in Lompoc. I would love it if you knew somebody that wanted to put the towers in there. I've got basically 2 acres down there that have the loop houses in place with the water. I have gray water runoff. I mean, I'm totally green, right? I have 37 panels, solar panels, hot water system house. I use the gray water. I mean, I did everything except put my own well in. And I'm actually putting 2 wind turbines because there's a canyon below me. So my electric bill to you is $4 a month. And it's because the taxes, that's the only reason I get a bill. They pay me every year about $80 back, 80 to 120 back, and better I do. But yeah, I'm totally green. I'm 100% with you. I would love to find somebody that wants to do a whole bunch of those and just split the profits with them. They can do whatever they want to do with them.
So if you're going to be outside, is it possible to grow inside?
If you have light, if you have a big sunny area inside, but it has to have at least 5 to 6 hours of good light.
However, people in Canada and the Northeast and Northwest will have them indoors in the winter, and they use grow lights, and they do fine. And some people have them right in their living room. I mean, they look beautiful. They sound like a fountain. The water pump is pumped up and drips down every 15 minutes.
Grow lights, you need solar panels.
Yeah.
You can grow
Just turn
green
over
stuff.
there.
I've been to those houses too.
And this first time I found out it's run by electricity.
Yep. Yes.
I was just going to say, when I go into the grocery store, I look to see where my produce is coming from. And more and more it's Mexico and Chile and Guatemala. And to me, I'm thinking, well, we won't even drink the water down in Mexico yet. We're buying all of our vegetables that are being grown in their water, So it's really a way of quality control, and it's not so much quantity we want the quality. And if you're doing it yourself, like Dan said, I mean, it's your organic farm,
Somebody else, I thought I saw somebody else. Nope. Okay. Yes.
What's the guesstimate of the cost to have a tower like this?
To have a tower like this?
Yes.
The tower, how it is sold as like a base tower, this has 2 extension kits on it, a 2-segment extension kit. So the base of it usually comes 5 tiers. You can grow up to 20 different plants in there, and that will run $500. You can get it on installment payments for as low as $43 a month. If you go that route, we suggest getting the extension kit and usually the tomato cage. But it comes with the mineral tonic, which should last about 9 months to a year with that also. So, and like I said, it's about 80 cents to $1 a month to run.
So, so it can come out to 40-something a month.
Yeah.
The company allows you to pay over a year, and with no interest, no charge, nothing at all extra. They want people to own these and get started with it.
And that was that was Tim Blank's, that was his biggest motivation, because what he was hearing at Epcot was, how can we get this to the, he's hearing this from Epcot, how can he get this to the corporate? And Tim Blank took it like, no, how can we get this to the people? So that's why he branched off and went with this.
Well, I think it's fantastic. You think about $500. I mean, I asked my wife, the first question I said was, well, how much do you think we're spending per month in vegetables? And she said, I don't know, maybe 40 bucks. And I said, so there you go. There's $40, same price. You're going to spend it here, you're going to spend it there, and you're going to get a lot more value in your health from spending it there. And after a year, it's paid for. It's time to go out and buy another one. Or depending on where you are, but you can see you're going to spend it anyway. And here, you get the difference, a big difference.
Forces you to eat better too.
Do you have a guesstimate of how many you need to feed a family of 4, or?
I think that would just be very dependent on.
But
how-
two, I say two, it depends on how old the kids are, how much they eat or whatever, but, two of these, but a lot of people just start with one and immediately they're supplementing so much more.
And as far as time, about how much time do you say you spend dealing with it and,
Maintenance wise?
yeah.
Very,
Check the water.
very little, you check the water, check the pH, and then add the nutrients. Every time you're adding water, you want to add the right amount of nutrients too.
Is that daily, every other day, and once a week?
It's literally, and I think seasonal will definitely depend on the hot, the heat, the cold. But, check the water level once a week.
Okay.
Make sure it's all running every once in a while, and you just have yours
They
taken apart.
recommend every 6 months that you just take it apart and clean it really well, although
And
because it's sealed, it doesn't get algae in.
This is built faster than the one.
That last little segment you just saw, that was 4 weeks. So yes, it grows, they say, up to 3 times faster.
Now, I saw the video, somebody said, boy, they didn't realize it smells so good. So if you haven't walked over there and taken a whiff, it's amazing because you go to the store and you just don't get a sense that you're going to smell something like that.
No, and that's, I think, a big thing too. It's sad because people that didn't grow up with fresh fruits and vegetables really don't know until they really taste what an organic vegetable is. It actually has a flavor to it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, take a nibble. You won't
Yeah.
believe how great that lettuce tastes.
Yeah.
If you ever grow strawberries locally, you know the strawberries that you grow are much sweeter, much better than what tastes like cardboard from the stores. And now when you can get it up off the ground so that the mice and everything else aren't eating them before you do, this is fantastic. Thank you. All right.
Genetic seeds, do you find anything with that? Because a lot of seeds now, they've manipulated and everything else. If you can get real, true seeds and grow them and then keep them up there, keep them going, the nutrition value on those are a lot.
And there's a great group in town that shares organic seeds and collects them, so there's a lot of little groups that are about protecting the organic seeds.
Excellent, excellent. Well, and I do want to mention, since we're on that thing of health, the far infrared heater that we've got back there
Hot.
is hot. Yeah, you don't want to leave your hands on it, but you got a chance to stand by it, you got a chance to feel it. It's actually therapeutic. If you go back to our website here, the Santa Barbara SBREIA, work your way back to Personal Power Project, and don't forget Project, or you'll end up on Tony Robbins' website. And if you look at the Personal Power Project, there's a little bit of that in there too. So in any case, Sean has been doing heating and plumbing for years, okay? And if you have any idea what these vents in people's homes are like that are blowing all of this mold and stuff that's coming out of them, and the health hazard, I mean, isn't that where Legionnaire's disease came from?
It's back east where they don't get air when the windows are shut. But if 9 out of 10 people could look inside your duct system, you wouldn't turn your heater and air conditioner on. And they're all the same. I believe the industry has kind of got a poor standard too, but those people that come by and they go, oh, well, clean your ducts. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever seen their duct system, especially if you have flex duct. It's going kind of everywhere, and there's no way they can get their brush in there, and so that's a farce to me. I've only been in the trade since '88 though, so I might have a couple things to learn still.
I had somebody come up, and I think I spent a couple $1,000 blowing the whole thing out and trying to clean it all up and get it all ready, because we've been there for 17 years and have never done it. Within probably 6 months of having done it, we started using the far infrared heating panels, and we haven't turned that forced air heater on since. Sean is going to sign up to be a dealer for these. Anybody that wants to sign up to be a dealer for them can, but he's got the experience of years of doing, heating, plumbing, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if you do any passive water systems. If Keith, do you have any passive water heating systems in your place?
Yeah, I have a 110-gallon storage tank, and it runs with, it's like a glucose.
Okay.
It boils glucose, it goes up 4 solar panels on top of the roof next to the other panels. It brings it up. It takes it at 135 degrees on average, brings it down, runs it through the tank constantly, so that water is always 135 degrees. Even at night, it's like 78 degrees. And I have a Munchkin boiler, have a boiler room. Munchkin boiler on the wall, it's 98% efficient. So, I mean, it's unbelievably efficient.
You're doing a lot of
I
good
spent
stuff
the
there.
money, I spent the money because I looked down the road, Lompoc had a 33% increase the year before last. Last year they had a 30% increase, and they have one more 30% increase coming up. So I looked at that, and I
The
mean,
electrical, the rate?
in the electric rates.
Rate, okay.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
a
what-
PG&E, and that's
As far as the health benefit of the infrared, the Chinese have been using that for thousands of years as a medicinal purpose, the infrared. I'm not exactly sure how, but so it,
Yeah. And if you want more links and information about that, go back to the Personal Power Project. There's links that take you to a bunch of other places to talk about that. What percentage of the bill would you say in heating your water? I think if you go passive, maybe 30%. Would you say, Keith, 30% you knocked it down because of going passive with the water heating?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Your bill as far as your energy cost on, because there's gas heating for the home, but there's also the bill for heating the water. And you're taking showers and washing clothes and things like that. What kind of savings in your overall energy would you say you got from going passive?
You see me smiling, right?
100%.
Yeah, my gas bill is like $38. I have a 3,800 square foot house.
Okay.
I have radiant heated floor, so the hot water system goes through the floor.
Okay.
When we built the house, I made sure that I did that. And it heats the items in the room, not the floor stays hot. The items in the room, it puts off its capacity. Very comfortable. My wife's Asian, so I'm used to Asian community and going in with no shoes in the house and warm floor. So
Sounds great.
yeah, it's
Sounds
really
great.
great.
You know, my wife, Maria, who's here, we had this small heater in our bathroom because it was so cold, and it's the kind of oil filled with the fins on it and all that. It's like 1,800 watts. And so my son was getting kind of cold, so we gave it to him, put it in his room, and I took this heater and put it in our bathroom, and after 2 days I said, well, this is 400 watts, the other was 1,800 watts. What do you like better and why? And she said, absolutely this, because the other one is just hot air going straight up on the high ceilings and it's gone. And she says, when I go in there in the bathroom and I'm standing next to this, it feels like the sun is shining on me. It's warming my body, it's not heating the air. Big difference. So here you have 400 watts as opposed to 18 and the 400 went out, which, I'm sold.
I'm a Chinese medicine practitioner, and we use TVP, or this far infrared heat, and it actually increases your metabolism. So that is why it would feel more like the sun, because it actually energizes your body, and you could theoretically lose weight with it.
That's amazing. Amazing. In fact, we, in California, I say in the United States, probably California to a big degree, it seems like it's mostly far infrared for saunas. People haven't really got that they could do far infrared for heating in their homes. In Canada and probably Europe and the colder places, they're into that. China's got a huge amount of this stuff that they're manufacturing, but you don't see it in Home Depot right now. Okay? I don't know how long it'll be. The other thing that this does is it kills mold. Now, can you imagine putting this in a bathroom? You can have these things be mirrors, where you take a shower, it doesn't even fog up the mirror because the mirror's far infrared is warm, and it's killing mold in the house. Put it down in your basement where you've got mold in the basement, whatever. It's pretty. It'll go through drywall, kill mold. So it's some interesting stuff. Anybody could be a dealer for this if you want to be.
And you're setting that up?
I'm a dealer, and I can help you get hooked into John Whitney, into PrestileUSA.com. You can go through our Santa BREIA side. It'll take you back to the Personal Power Project. He asked me personally, Dan, do you want to be the, dealer for the Santa Barbara area, exclusive dealer? And I said, are you kidding? You would hate me if I was the exclusive dealer, because I would never push the product as much as you would like to have it pushed. That's not my focus. I don't have the time. I love it. What we need is 100 dealers in the town so that everybody's using it. I'd be a lot happier with that. We're not going to get 100, but you understand what I'm saying. This is where we need to go. So, John.
Can you give us a quick idea of price on that?
That unit, if it doesn't have a picture, your price as a dealer is about $250. Okay? So all this stuff is A little bit pricey because it's new, but just like computers, it's all electronics. It's all going to come down in price. If you get flooded by, you know, things from Europe or China, wherever, and it's in Home Depot, we'll probably see the same thing for $50. But if I've got to wait 5 years to 10 years to get there, how much energy am I going to spend waiting? And how much health am I going to lose? I've got that model right there underneath my desk. You know, I let the desk warm up, then I go there and sit down and work, and the rest of the house can be freezing cold, it doesn't matter. You know how when you get in a hot tub, and you get really hot, and you get out of the hot tub, and you're in a cold house or cold place, you could walk around for 15 minutes or half hours like, that's all that doesn't matter, it's cold. That's kind of what this feels like. So you get up from it and walk around the house, and you're like warm. You know, you don't have, and you can carry it wherever you want. Eventually you get to the point where you have a bunch of them around, so you don't have to keep moving like we're doing, okay? But you can do that to begin with, just like you can buy one of these, you know, for the vegetables in the beginning and start to learn just how great it is and why it didn't come out sooner. We had to go to space to figure that one out, right? Yeah, thank you, Heather. So we're good. We're going to do another one next month. We've got a gentleman by the name of, let's see, John Jackson, and he talks about lease to purchase. We did a little kind of interview, Skype, and I'm going to put that up on the website so you can see who's coming next month, and then we'll get some more vendors in here. I've talked to Tesla, and I'm trying to get the sales rep from a number of different store outlets to come up here and talk to us about the Tesla cars and what they plan on doing. And he said he wants to. It's just a matter. He said this month it was too short a notice.
Oh, we want to take test drives too.
He wanted to take test drives. Wouldn't that be nice? I'll bring up 12 cars. So, you know, we're going to keep filling places up with vendors. Any of you that want to promote your own business, this is the opportunity to do that, kind of like we did tonight. You know, that makes it easier for us to have this environment. You know, we couldn't do it downstairs. There wasn't enough room. And I thought this was going to be too expensive up here. But if everybody pays a little, the vendors, the speakers, whatever, all of us can stay at 10, you know, online or 20 in advance, and we don't have to keep, you know, raising the price. And my goal isn't to end up back downstairs in a huge auditorium that they have here with 300 people. It really is just to have this be more quality, more serious, really get into it, and you know, just enjoy what we've got here. It doesn't need to be 300 people for me. And I'm all for doing maybe one of those, or helping or going to one of them. I just don't want to do it here. Okay, so I want to thank you all very much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next month. There is a, if you've got tickets,
you can validate your tickets over here.
Validate machine right back here on this table. Validate it, and then you won't have to pay to get out of the parking lot. You just take it to the machine, it'll open up for you, and away you go.